Waves time check 39 minutes after 10, and you guys already know from 10:30 to 11 every Saturday we get behind the wheels and talk about cars. But today's going to be a little bit different. I've got a little bit of help. We've got somebody important in the studio. We've been talking over the last couple of months about Carpartsnigeria. We've had different representatives from Carpartsnigeria, but finally we've landed the CEO of Carpartsnigeria.com. His name is Mr. Bayo Balogun. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Yomi.
All right, so finally landed you in the studio. Feels great. We had some other representatives over time. But first, before we get too far ahead, how about you give us, because I imagine you birthed this idea.
Correct.
Yeah, so, how about you give us, the overview, what the idea in your head was, and how far you guys have gone with that?
Okay, thank you. One of the most important things that we have discovered, and this is from experience, is that it was very difficult finding parts going over Lagos. In 2 years, me and a couple of friends had issues, with parts, and we had to send people out, and it was taking like 2-3 days finding parts. And that was one of the things that actually got us going to trying to resolve a problem that we found that was very, very, very difficult for people to find anything around town. So we kind of come together and decide, okay, what can we do about this problem? We set up a search engine, and what this does is very simple. You go onto the website, you put in the make and model of the car, you put in the year of the car, and you put in the part you're looking for.
Okay.
And it does search, and what it does, it brings up all the vendors all over the country that would have the part you're looking for.
And the prices.
And the prices. And to simplify stuff, it's just a way for people to just be able to find vendors, to find prices, save time, save money.
Okay, so we can call it like the Google of finding car parts in Nigeria.
Correct. Let's say Google of auto parts industry.
Exactly, the Google of the auto parts industry in Nigeria. Yes. Now, when you say you find car parts and their prices from vendors,
correct.
Who are these vendors? Are they the same guys we know at Ladipo Market all over the country?
Correct. They are from Ladipo Market, from the grassroots, baby shops, from the big CFAOs. So what we're doing is gathering a lot of information into our database.
Okay.
We're registering vendors. We're putting all their products online.
Okay.
We creating the database is expanding every day within the last 5-6 months, and it's growing fast. So the key to it is it would help, rather than going all over town, all you do is punch in what you're looking for, and then you searching everybody, rather than going from one point to the other.
All right, this sounds to me like the key unique selling point is the convenience that it offers. So I basically search from the comfort of my home or my computer, I find the part, and then I buy it. That this, begs the question: how do you pay for it? Do I pay when they bring the parts? Do I pay over the internet? Do I have to go into a bank?
That's a great question, Yomi. Right now, what we have is a portal that allows you to search, find your products, call your vendors, and be able to see what you're looking for. Call them, and you go out there and pick it up.
Oh, okay.
The portal allows us to enable people to buy. We have not turned that on yet, and there's a good reason for that.
All right.
The reason why is we want to make sure the back end of our database, especially with the vendors, that they are able to deliver with regards to the logistics of delivery of products.
All right.
Until we will start enabling some of our vendors as time goes on, one at a time. When we feel comfortable with the vendor that they can deliver the back end, make a good delivery on the back end, we would enable them to be able to pay online.
Okay.
Customers can pay online. They can make that. Yeah. So over time, that would be.
Right now, basically, it'll be, I find a part online on Carpartsnigeria.com. I call up the vendor that has got it, and then I make an arrangement with that vendor.
Exactly. Just like you go in there to buy.
Okay. Yes. Okay. I could also arrange for the vendor to bring it to me, or I could go pick it up. Whatever works for both of us.
Exactly.
All right. Now, before we get too far ahead into the vendors and buyers segment, let's first talk about the services that Carpartsnigeria.com as a whole offers to the buyers, aside from finding car parts. I understand that there are sometimes auctions, there are sometimes as well vendor listings. So what are the different services that Carpartsnigeria.com offers to Nigerians?
Yes, apart from the search engine that we do have, or the search aggregator that we do car listing, which is basically what a lot of our competitors do.
Okay.
They have the cars. You can list your car on our website. I think it's 1,500 naira for 6 months.
Okay.
And within that time, if the buyer finds your car, they call you and talk to you directly.
Okay.
And Carpartsnigeria has nothing to do with that.
So it's just a listing service. It's not an auction.
That's the first one.
Okay.
So what we also have that a lot of our competitors don't have is actually a real-time auction service, which is the first in Africa. You call us, you list your car just like you list a regular car. We put it in there for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, depending on what the customer wants.
Okay.
And after that, real-time bid starts. People start bidding on it. At the time of conclusion of the bidding, the highest bidder wins the bid. If it meets the customer's mark in regards to the price they are willing to get.
There's a minimum price, right?
There would be
correct,
price. Exactly. And if it makes the minimum, price that the customer wants to sell, then the buyer and the seller meets and the sale is made.
So that sounds very interesting. I mean, definitely never heard of anything like that in Nigeria. All I'm familiar with are certain websites in America where you have auctions, damaged cars, new cars, and different cars. But this is very interesting. Now, if for example I'm going to be bidding on a car that's up for auction, at what point can I certify that this car is in great condition? Shouldn't we be able to inspect first?
Exactly. And what we've set up is right now is to allow people on the weekends. The listing is going to be for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So on the weekends, the sellers would have the car in a location that we have arranged.
Okay.
And then the buyers come out, take a look, and test the car, and they can come in and make a bid.
So there's a prearranged inspection day and place.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Now, if say for example I wanted to use Carpartsnigeria.com, do I just visit the website and immediately have access to all the services, or do I have to register and get involved in the process?
Good question. Vendors definitely register. Buyers also have to register on our website. It takes maybe 10 to 20 seconds to register. And the registration is pretty simple. Once you've read, and there's a reason why we do gather those registration information, because we want to make this a great experience for the buyer. And we want to understand what their issues are.
All right.
And that's one of the reasons why. But the registration is a requirement on our site.
Okay. So what does the registration involve? What kind of data would you be asking of me? Do I have to upload a passport photograph, for example? Things like that.
No. For the buyers, all you need is your name, your address, your phone number, and then your email.
Okay.
Because then you have to confirm that, and this is just for safekeeping. We just want to make sure we take care of our consumers.
All right. And talking about taking care of your consumers and, safekeeping, ensuring that they are safe. Let's go back to talking about car parts, for example. One of the main drawbacks with buying car parts in Nigeria is not knowing if what you're buying is original or fake. I had to replace a timing belt in my car 2 times in a week. Timing belts are supposed to last for 2 years, but I had to replace mine 2 times in 1 week because the first one I got was fake. So how do I ascertain over the internet that this part I'm about to buy is fake? Is there a way where you can, offer your buyers an insight into knowing what is original or what is fake?
Great question. The first thing that we are doing, and this should be on the site, it's not there now, maybe in a week or two, is a grading. We actually grading vendors when they put the parts online.
Okay.
We actually requiring them now to grade the parts because we understand this is Nigeria. So we have a grading of A to E. A means
really good,
pretty brand new.
All right.
And all the rest refurbished, B, C, D,
Okay.
So that way, when you buying something, you know exactly what grade, and we're going to hold our vendors responsible.
Okay.
Because on our website, we allow you to rate vendors. So if for some reason they're selling you parts that's not the grade that they're putting in,
okay, so I can go back on there and drop a comment.
Exactly. And the integrity of our website is what is most important, because we want to make sure these vendors and the consumers are getting what we're trying to get them.
I think that is absolutely important. But now let's see, if in the event that, say for example, you have a particular vendor who is repeatedly fraudulent, are there penalties for these vendors?
Yeah, what we've done is we try to help the vendors. So we're not here to, just yank people around.
Yeah.
Our goal is to create an environment that even allows the vendors to be able to be creative.
Yeah.
It's a better business service kind of stuff that we're creating.
Okay.
So, but for some reason, if a vendor is getting bad reviews, we go back to them and try to say, okay, this is what you need to do. You're losing customers.
Okay.
You're not doing your business well.
Okay.
You need to get better.
Okay.
But for some reason, if they keep doing the same thing because of the integrity of the platform, we will drop them.
Okay.
We will drop them if that comes to that.
Okay. Now let's talking about the vendors. Say for example, I have a brother who sells parts in Ladipo, and he's interested in breaking into the online markets, which of course Carpartsnigeria is going to capture nicely.
Yeah.
How does he become a vendor listed on Carpartsnigeria.com?
It's actually very simple. They can go online by themselves. We have a vendor registration at the top.
Okay.
And you go in, you register your name, you register, your company.
Okay.
And vendors have the option of putting pictures, so that way you can actually
Put
see
a face
vendors.
to
Exactly.
the
And as we're talking about vendors, we're not just parts. You actually can also search for services.
All right.
We have mechanics, panebidas, the whole 9 yards. So if you are in Bayo or in Kwara, you're looking for your best mechanics or your best in the service industry. Correct, nearest to you. And
all
because
right.
this is also close proximity, it's not just near in state.
Okay.
We're actually talking if you want Ikeja, if you want Surulere, you can actually drill down all to that point.
Sounds interesting. So basically, aside from buying parts, aside from car listing, aside from the auction services, I can also access information on mechanics, on panabitters,
Yes.
pretty much all the artisans involved with cars.
Correct, and you can rate them as well.
Oh, really interesting. Yeah. All right. Now, before we let you go and wrap this up, for example, I have a mechanic. Right? If anything happens to my car, I just drive it there, I drop it there. I don't even want to know what's wrong with it. I just walk away. He fixes it, and then I go back to him.
Correct.
So why should I change my attitude? And you're not just answering this question for me, also answering for everybody out there who's listening.
Yeah.
Why should I change that attitude, which I inherited from my father, which he inherited from his father,
Yes.
to start going to Carpartsnigeria.com?
The question is, nothing is really going to be changing if you really look at it, Yomi. What we're doing is we're just creating a platform that makes life easier for everybody. I mean, you have a mechanic, if it works for you, great. But we want to know that mechanic because I want to share that with everybody else.
Okay.
So, I mean, the goal
Exactly.
is allowing that platform to be able to address all the difficulties of the industry.
Okay.
And we've been doing pretty well. We spoke to the Nigerian Insurance Association. We got an endorsement from them a week ago with the presentation we did.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. We also were at the Ladipo market. We spoke to the president of the Nationwide Association.
Okay.
We are a member of them at this point because we registered. So, I mean, we join everything that we need to help, the people and help the vendors. The age now, the digital age, the auto industry should not be left behind. And that's our goal,
Absolutely. I totally agree.
Yeah.
So in 5-10 years, what do you project that Carpartsnigeria.com will become?
The thing that we hope to do, not just in Nigeria, because one of the things we are going to Africa, Ghana, Sierra Leone. We have Carparts Ghana already started.
Okay.
But where we hope to be is being able to take this industry to a new level. Our goal is just to be able to address. I'll give you an example. We see with cars in the country right now, how do we know vehicle identification, issues that's been with vehicles. We hope to get, with technology to help the industry address a lot of these different problems that we see. So in 10 years from here, we will still be in just this one industry, but
a bigger player.
Yes, sir.
All right, what has the feedback been so far, especially from the vendors? Because I imagine that the bulk of your work is not getting the buyers, it's getting the vendors listed.
Correct.
So how has that feedback been from these guys?
Yeah, it's been wonderful. I won't lie to you, and that's what's encouraged us. We have been to several, especially since we started the pilot in Lagos. Everywhere we've been. If I tell you it's 100 to 100%, you'll be like unbelievable. But that's what we've gotten so far.
So I mean, if you're talking to a mechanic who is used to his customers coming to his workshop, for example, how do you sell the idea of you can actually get more customers off the internet? How receptive are they to this idea? Do they ever feel like, this is just an Americana man coming to tell us something?
No, not really. Especially when you explain to them that you're only expanding their business. You understand? They already have what they have.
Yes.
So now what we're saying is we're giving the exposure. That means anyone, anywhere can actually see you. So that understanding is what is really been, working for us more than anything else.
And finally, so for example, for these mechanics, for these artisans as well, that the average panabita, the average vulcanizer, is it the same process of getting listed as the guys who sell car parts?
Correct. And one thing we're doing to help a lot of them, especially with the challenges of the internet, we do have a lot of agents out there.
Okay.
They actually go out,
recruiting these people.
Yes, register, and they register these vendors that not too savvy.
Okay.
They give them their portal, and we kind of educate as we go.
Oh, okay.
And that's something.
It sounds like a mini revolution, really.
We got to get there somehow.
Yeah.
It's baby steps, but we'll get there.
All right, interesting. I wish you all of the luck in the world. I definitely will be checking out the website really soon. But for people listening, vendors, artisans, say even buyers who want a bit more information from Carparts Nigeria, what numbers can they call to get across to you guys?
Okay, they can reach us at www.carpartsnigeria.com. Carpartsnigeria.com. And the phone numbers, the main numbers you can reach us as, it's 090-999-5678.
Okay.
I'll give like 3 numbers.
Yeah, the more the merrier.
Okay. And 070-355-64512. 080-2894-0660.
Okay. All right, that should work. All right, so I'll take them again. 0809-999-5678, 0703-556-4512, and finally 0802-894-0660. And also, if you want to get across to via email, info@Carpartsnigeria.
Info@Carpartsnigeria, yes.
All right, thank you very much for being here, Mr. Bayo Balogun.
Thank you.
Feels really good to be at the beginning of what appears to be a revolution that will only get better. Hopefully in 10 years, this
will be me and you talking now.
All right, so thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you, Yomi.
All right, time check, 56 minutes after 10. Just 4 more minutes before we hit the 11 o'clock mark right here on Fresh Waves on your Top Radio 90.9. We've been talking to the CEO of Carpartsnigeria.com, Mr. Bayo Balogun. We'll have to go back to some more music right now. When we come back on the other side of 11, it's going to be time for screenshots right here on the Fresh Waves Top Radio 90.9. This right here is Magic Rude.
Saturday morning, jumped out of bed and put on my best suit. Got in my car and raced like